One, two, one, two, one, two. I guess coming on early, I might have to wait a couple minutes today. That's what it's looking like. Being that, being that I haven't been on time, not exactly on time today, but be a little bit closer in. Mag, what's the deal? So yeah, Mag. I don't know. Can y'all see that behind me? That's the boxes. We got the that's the book bags. The book bags arrived today. So we still gotta get those supplies and everything. Papers, pens, sharpeners, hand sanitizer, crayons, notebooks, folders, pens, everything that the young need to be prepared when they get back to school. But phase one accomplished. Free cipher was the science. Phase one accomplished over here. You know what I'm saying? We actually, man, it was today we had a lot of little brothers out here today, man. You know what I'm saying? Just saying for those of y'all that's in the city, right? We giving out the bags on August 30th. So we got this. This is 120 that I got right here. You know what I'm saying? The what's the cultural management. I don't know how many they got, but those is being added on. But I'm dealing with my thing. But they all gonna be giving out the same day. JP Air Falling. You know, shout out to you though, JP Air Falling. But you did. I do have to tell you that you know, it's not even your fault. But on the last live stream, just the way it went, right? Uh, there's got to be a period of time, right, where we not playing. Master Saquon, I seen him yesterday. Uh, uh, yeah, he's been coming by, in general, yeah. But I'm just saying, I didn't see him today. By the time I got here, he must have already did what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? But just in general for the people, man, you know what I'm saying? It's social media is that way, right? Where you come on social media, I come on social media and then you get caught up in this. You understand what I'm saying? And some people come on and I entertain them, in terms of we could be pretty sure, that especially at my age, power, understanding, I don't really got nothing to gain from being in this conversation with this person. You know what I'm saying? But I've been doing that recently because it's amusing to me. But at the same time, right? Uh, we need to establish where the line is. You see, what happens is people come on here, you come on the channel, and you come on playing, and so now maybe you think this is what we established, and you think that maybe I can't be serious. So, and some things is about just respecting the fact that people gave their life over this, and not just in the terms of you know you pass away. You know what I'm saying? You pass away unexpectedly, then it's easy to see that you gave your life for that. But see, look at the people like Umala. That he did this for his whole life. It was other things that people could have did. It's not just getting shot. The people came and offered Allah millions of dollars to go do something else somewhere else. Just stop what you're doing, go teach it somewhere else to some other people. All I was presenting. But that's not what he did with his life. You know what I'm saying? The only way, you know, the person returning to the essence is not the only way to measure their life or what they did with it. So, some of these conversations that I've been having with y'all, I want to make sure y'all understand that. But what's the deal, though, man? Who else is out there? The party people, party people in the place to be. I don't know if we should wait for a few more people from the What Did I Miss crew. Or should we jump right into this? Because, in all reality, the title today is we've covered this before. I don't know if we covered it, under this specific title right here. You know what I'm saying? But you know what it means, to have supreme knowledge without practical knowledge. Eric Cook. All right, now JPF4. I hope you didn't leave because now you're about to find out what this really is about here. Now, Eric Cook. I mean, let's first, right? I'm gonna ask you: do you realize now that you were never taught the right and exact science of the 5%? Oh, so you do realize that now. Fantastic. So, what is your purpose? What is your purpose of coming on the live stream? John King, what's the deal? You said just doing the knowledge. All right, now look, I can accept that, right? The bar, what's the deal? Now, if you're just doing the knowledge, do that. Meaning, and look, if doing the knowledge means you want to ask a question, ask a question. You said because the large 5% is universal. What do you mean by that? Do you mean that people that are SAing children, you saying because universal, right, means everything? What do you mean by that? Do you mean that you can speak what you speak about, right? Have your teachings, which is peace for you to have, right? And that's somehow included in a large 5%? That's somehow included in the large teachings? Is that what you're saying? See, what I'm asking you this, Eric, because you did see I'm at a level, right, where I'm ready to exile you. Like if that's what you're saying, right, then all I gotta say is this, G. Right? I know the 5% for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's best you stay away from us. Like it's nothing, you know, be you, do you, right? Whatever you've learned in life and you've taken the best part for yourself, that's fine and good. But see, just like I just told the people before you said peace, right? People gave their life over this, bro. People that I know personally, not just I read it on the paper or I heard somebody else talking about that person. Why exile you? Because the last time you came in, right? You said that we need to change some of the lessons. And see, that's what I mean when I say if you're going to do the knowledge, coming out and saying that we need to change some of our lessons, whoever is this we and our that you're talking about, right? Then when you started speaking about the lessons, those are not even our lessons. See, you walked right into it when I asked you, when I said, what's the seventh degree, right? And the 1 to 14. And you said, why is the devil teaching call and keep our people illiterate? See, I couldn't even look. I almost messed up saying it wrong. But see, when you said that, right, it shows that you don't have our lessons, you don't have our knowledge, you don't have our wisdom, and you don't see the world like we do. And so my thing is this: if you here to learn, then everybody's free to do that. But if you here, right, to, because on several different occasions you said different things. You know what I'm saying? Where, when you speak about, you I'm not quoting you, but you said something about me being brainwashed, right, by, some group of older brothers, right? But here's the thing, I know them. Yeah, you answered my question, you answered it wrong. See, so when you see me here, you got look, let me put it in some street terms. Let me put it in some street terms. Maybe you can understand what I'm saying if you look at it from over there. See, you be talking shit about my dead homies, man. They see when you saying that we all this what you got from Wakil, right? And when you expressing this whole thing, the 5% priesthood and all of this, bro, you disrespecting my dead homies. That's what you're doing. And that's why I'm saying that, look, I'm not into that. I'm not looking for you, but I don't want you looking for me neither. Now do you get my point? Now do you see what I'm saying? That one is respect, bro. And see, if we can't have that, then how we proceed, bro. Like, if you know what you know, that's what I'm saying. You're free to do that. I don't start your own channel. Start your own channel and do what you're doing. Yeah, my dad homies, like when you talk about the firstborn, right? When you talk about the firstborn as if they brainwashed and misled everybody about what Allah's teachings is. When you say that, that's what I'm saying. I know these people. These are people that listen. Listen, we then came in here, right, with a half a chicken and French fries and split it. This is peace. This is listen. We're all different things. Look, people that went across the street, hit the number. Yo, guy, what's up? Boop, 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 boop. Hit me off with some cash. That's what I'm saying. These are my people. This ain't just something that I read on a piece of paper. So when you say that these people is misleading us, right? See, I have to be clear. That yeah, we jokey, joke. But see, the last time, right, when I asked you what the 7th degree was, and you answered back with the 6th degree, something about that hit me like a ton of bricks, bro. Something about that led me to understand that, bro, if you're not around us to learn, because you're not around us to teach. If you're not around us to learn, you need to get to stepping, bro, because this ain't no type of party. This ain't no rap party. This ain't no weed party. This ain't no kind of party. Yeah. Love, peace, and happiness is a part of life. So yeah, do we have humor, man? Are we social with each other? Right? Do we talk about the Knicks game and all that? Yeah. But see, we able to do that because we already dealt with first things first and last things last. So see, when you come on here and you say family, what you mean by that? See, let me ask you a question. What can you do for the nation? You teaching the truth. How are you teaching the truth and you quoting the wrong degrees? You just quoted the wrong degrees. You're not teaching the truth. This is what I'm saying. Now look, I'm gonna give you a break here. You know what I mean? Because look, I'm powering stand now and got soft. P Almighty didn't let me know I got soft. Right? So I'm gonna give you a chance here because I don't know if you're dealing with some type of mental or emotional incapacity, right? If you incapacitated, right, mentally or emotionally, that could be the case. So I don't want to all out condemn you, but at the same time, just telling you this ain't the place to this ain't the place to play, bro. This is not the place to play. Look, we don't come places playing with nobody. See, whatever you got to say about me, if you want to say I'm brainwashed, other times you told me I'm caught up in the past. You can see people talk shit about me every day. But it's the difference between you talking that shit over there, you talking that shit in my face. So look, at the end of the day, my mind is telling me to kick you off, to kick you out the room right now. But at the end of the day, look, this is the internet. So you can come back in. You can come back in with 1,000 other names. As soon as I kick you off, that's how quick it can take you to put another name back up here. But are we clear? Like, whatever you got on your mind, are we clear that I'm not playing with you and you better not be playing with Allah's teachings? Are we clear about that part? Why kick you off? Because you're not with us. Like, see, if you're here to learn, right? If you're here to learn, right? That's one thing. But if you look, did you know why Kill has a channel? I don't know the name of it. I don't watch it. That's what I'm saying, because I don't watch stuff that, I'm not going to watch it just to be, oh, I disagree with you or I hate your show. And I don't watch it. But what I'm saying is that, listen, why don't you go where the people got the knowledge that you got that you agree with? See, we the son of man that agree, and you are not. That's why it's, look, go where you going. Do you have children ever cook? You know how I get to a certain part of the night and you tell your children's friends, like, all right, they got to go to bed now. Y'all got to go where you going, where your people is at. Now, if you ain't got no people or something, then now I might that's. But go with your people. Do you understand? Listen, in the Bill degree, right? When it says a society of men, a group of men for one common cause. What is your common cause with us? See this. Look, we getting into the nitty gritty of the what's the name already. That's what I'm saying. So you got supreme knowledge. You know the lessons, but do you have practical knowledge? Do you know how to apply this in any type of way, right? That's going to have some type of beneficial meaning in life. You said, I'm saying this, the youth us get the truth universally. What the hell does that mean? Bro, look, here's the question. I'm going to ask you again. Are you here to learn? And if not, why don't you get the fuck out of here? That's the question. Show and prove how to apply this in 2025. This is 120 book bags. You see, Allah taught about education, and he supported the children in their education. People who was in DFY, right? That's juvenile. That's the youth before you turn 16, DFY. So when you hear that tape, that audio tape, that's from the brothers who was in DFY. Well, it's Allah spoken, but I'm saying he was speaking to the brothers that was up there now, right? Now there's people who went from that system, came out, and Allah got them into school. First, right? We hear about Harlem Prep, right? Everybody know about God Carp and that whole history, right? And then from Harlem Prep, several brothers went to college. University of Massachusetts, City College, University of California, the University of California, like the system. Now, don't get me wrong. I got, of course, some ways to go to catch up to what he was doing, right? But this is my seeds that I'm planting right here, right? To apply all of this here, like yeah, we get on here and we talk, yeah, God knows build struggle, we talk all this shit don't nobody understand. But see, everybody in the neighborhood understands that. They understand that, they got things they got to do. They might have multiple kids or whatever. So this right here is a help. It's not gonna save the day, but this is something right here, a practical thing, right, that improves the community. You know what I'm saying? And coming from somebody who, look, I was one of those people that, we outside, we building, right? The original Mr. 120, what you did, right? We outside, we building, it's in the morning, everybody supposed to be going to school, right? That's what we came here for. That's what our parents sent us here for, right? But I'm one of the brothers that's outside. Like, wait a minute, man. You want to go to class, but I'm saying, wait a minute. You're gonna go in there and deal with the devil's education before you manifest this supreme knowledge. Yeah, I remember when I used to come to school sometimes. We used to just go to like second and third period. The mean guy he came, we bound to my out the school. We gone. We not we not we not in the same borough with the school. And so, not that that's good. It's funny now looking back, but I'm just saying that yeah, that's I can say that I improved that. You see what I'm saying? From I wouldn't say encouraging people, you know what I'm saying, but being a part of the peer pressure that might make somebody, you know, feel like yo, they want to impress the guy, so they're gonna be late for class. You know what I'm saying? Or like I said, me and the guy he can't. We bouncing, we doing what we doing. We having fun. So people want to roll with us. And I don't really got at the time, my mindset is like, nah, you stay in class because that's the right thing to do. I'm thinking the more the merrier. You see what I'm saying? But now I do this right here to see that's the practicalness, that's the practicality of this knowledge. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Look, I'm the pudding too. When they say the proof is in the pudding, right? I'm the proof of if you really, not just learn the lessons, but learn these teachings, right? How you can improve. What you say? Can the earth teach other gods? What? The the I mean, you can hit my regular cash app. I don't know how to in this thing. I try to write on the what's the name. It don't be working. Might work this time. Let's see what happens. But I want to. Yeah, but I don't understand. What are you checking about the Earth for? Like, what's that? Are you for real? I No, I can't see the comments, man. What the hell? I can't see now. I gotta find a way to see the comments you got. I'm not interested. But look, I don't know why you worry. I don't know why you worry about the Earth. See, look, there's people with 6 fingers. There's people with all types of what kind of shit is this? Like this is where we go. What are you trying to find this obscure what like what is that? That's what I'm saying. That's what you came here to learn. Some. What's that to anybody? I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, is that supposed to be an important question? I don't. What is the significance? Why you worry about uh who or what they could teach? I don't understand. How do I get my thing back? See, that's why I like being in the house when I got the screen right there where I can see all the comments because I want to see the answer for that. Like, what is that? You asking these obscure questions, right? About exceptions. Like you want to live that's how you living by the exceptions or something. Like you living by these, kind of extreme well, what about the earth? What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Like, see, this is what I'm saying. You bring this stuff in here, and y'all are just clouding up the knowledge, man, with nonsense questions. With questions that, listen, even the application of that is way down the line for you, bro. Like, see, you don't hear me on here talking about aliens. You don't hear me on here talking about other planets outside of, we know how far all the planets is from the sun and all that. But at the end of the day, you got a master right here. Think I just barely got these bags. I need to get the stuff to put in them. What I'm worried about people all the way out of space for? You know why? Why is that's the you don't know your degrees, man, and that's the question you got to ask me. Yo, not for nothing, that be happening. You ain't the only person, sir. It be times when it's like, bro, the way I feel regular. Don't get me wrong. I'm not. But I'm saying like a person to be saying that, you know, look, you've been waiting all this time to meet me, and then that's the question that's the question that, that's wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, man. This is what you came on the live stream to ask me? Like, this is why you still here? When I told you it's best for you to go here, you still here to ask me, what about the earth? And then you said the earth's teaching other gods. I caught that. I caught that. What do you mean the earth's teaching other gods? What are you saying? Are you saying that the earth is God? What are you saying? That's what I'm saying. Bro, don't waste our time. We don't want to waste your time. That's the reality, man. See, like, we got the young brothers, they come, look, they like to ride their bikes. They like to ride their bikes. They need a couple repairs on their bikes, man. You know how to fix bikes. See, when the kids, when they come to you for whatever is to help, look, they was around the corner, something happened, they riding the bike on the sidewalk, they giving something. See, I got the bill with them. Tell them what's right and how to, you know, what you did in that situation was really wrong. I had to tell them that. This is what I had to tell them this particular time. This is how you do it the right way. God don't got no time to be worried about no woman running her mouth. This is what I'm saying is the difference between, see, people come here, right? And they think that, oh, now you got supreme knowledge and it's going to negate all the other stuff. It's going to negate the other rules. Like, now all of a sudden you're going to be able to fly through the fucking air, right? Because you memorize some shit off the paper. You're going to be able to fly through the fucking air, right? Bullets is going to pass right through you. What the fuck are you thinking? They just admit that you still believe in the mystery God and all the mystical, magical bullshit that go along with it. That's what it means when you don't have no practical knowledge, when you don't have no way, right, to distill this into something that can land on the planet. See, whether it's in the form of drops of water or drops of ice or in a light, fluffy form, you don't have the power to do that. You can only talk to other people who got the same knowledge you got. You can't make this distilled, man, where somebody else could draw it up for their own self. So listen, have you caught on yet? Have you caught on yet to why you need to go your way? JPF father, look, no, this is, I know, I told you I was serious. I told you I was serious today when you first came in here. And I still can't see why I can't see my comments. Because I need answers. I need answers, Eric Cook. And I can handle the truth. Hey, listen, I see Encyclopedia Brown in there. I can barely see the comments, but I see Encyclopedia Brown. Hey, look, Encyclopedia Brown. I think I'm gonna find a way. I want to do some episodes. Encyclopedia Brown sent me a book. Some two people. We gonna go through. We go through it all. But they wrote a book on the history of fart. See, I can see a comment in there from you right now. I just can't figure out how to get this damn thing off my screen. You said, is it forbidden for earth to teach gods, but yet she is the vessel to bring life after 9 months? What kind of ignorant shit is you talking? Okay, you can get the fuck out of here. This is what I'm saying. You're demanding that I answer a question that I don't give a fuck about. Do you understand that? See, you want me to answer, bro, you don't know your lessons. Do you know what first things first and last things last is? Okay, check this out. Here's what you do, right? And you got to do this publicly because she got a God. She got a God, right? So don't take this. But look, contact Wisdom Be Born, right? And see if she can teach you right. Because you're a fucking dunce. You can't learn from a man, right? It's clear you need to learn from your real God, the black woman. So have at it. That's what you do. You go ahead and show and prove it. I don't need to answer it. But I can tell you somebody that's qualified. If you if you want to find out, right? That's somebody that's qualified, right? In the meantime, bro, beat it, man. Beat it. You don't. This is not philosophy. This is not debate class. This is not any of that. What you saying here? Sexist. Sexist. What kind of 5%? I got it. What kind of 5% uses terms like sexist? What kind of 5%? What kind of term is that for 5% to be using? That look, that's what kind of 5% got bacon bits in their cabinet? What kind of what kind of 5% uses words like sexist? It's like, is that for real? Like this is what I'm saying, man. And she look, you know, and we all that way. We all have instances, right, where we are a great example of what to do, right? And we have instances where we are a great example of what not to do. You know, and so you providing a great example, right, of what not to do, man. But you know, look, like I said, JJ has the candy. Like I said, you know, you do you, right? You do you. I still can't see the comments. I don't know. I don't know how to finesse that. I gotta try something else. I don't know. Yeah. Because this I got a lot of stuff on my screen. No, take it. Where's the maybe I can see it on what's the name? But yeah, getting back to to the main issues, man. And you know, we did touch on some of it right there. Peace. Peace. Hey, yeah, you know we giving out the book bags on the 30th, right? I just found out. You don't need the walkie-talkies. You don't need them. Yo, you want to build go-karts? Yeah. I know a program where they're going to be building go-karts, but right now it's in Brooklyn. But I'm going to try to get it up here, though. What do you need walkie-talkies for? Yo, do not bother those walkie-talkies. But you know, yeah, getting back to what I'm saying is that we get this knowledge, right? And we can't not see knowledge is infinite, right? But it's you can't forget all the knowledge that you already gained. Like at some point, you got to be retaining it for the infinity of knowledge to be any good for you. Like what's the point of learning what 2 + 2 is if you forget what 1 + 1 is? And so there's various things that I see that all of a sudden, man, people get the knowledge, right? And now the lessons that your parents taught you, right? The lessons that your parents taught you, you think those don't apply no more. Everything that you learn, right? We're not talking about things that you just learned that you never showed to prove. We're not just talking about you saying like, all right, I'm gonna question everything, right? Not questioning in the you know, to dispute it, but to say, I'm going to show and prove it for myself. That if I say whatever thing, right, A, B, C, X, Y, Z, right? If I say A, B, C, right, and then people say, well, why you say A, B, C? I don't want to have to say, well, I said A, B, C because Eric Cook said that on the live stream. So yeah, you have to question, right? If I say so, yeah, you got to question that and show and prove it for yourself. So now, if you build it and somebody say, you know, that's not true, you can say, no, that's true. Not because I said it, but because of whatever you experience in the either living it out or researching. To see, this is what's happening, and just in general, right? When we talk about, all right, look, what comes first? Like sometimes that's law and order. So yeah, to some other people, and that's fine and good. If you don't want laws, right? If you don't want to live by law, right? And you don't want it to be a particular order, fine and good. But we live by law and we have a particular order. See, that's the thing. Everybody act like, you know, the 5% is trying to control your mind. No, we're telling you to get the fuck out of here. And you want to impose yourself on us. You want to impose yourself on us and then tell us it's us. We the problem. You see, anytime when we ask, listen, man, we're talking about the practical knowledge. See, what you talking about, can this happen? Would this happen? Let me tell you something. I know brothers that was taught by women. I know brothers that was introduced to this knowledge by women. See, that's the practicality of it. But see, let me tell you something else that's practical. Nobody, right? You listen. Nobody can teach a person how to be them. No outside person can teach a person how to be them. So see, look, let me tell you something. I can't tell a woman nothing about being in labor. That's just an extreme example, but there's a whole bunch of other things. And nah, a woman ain't gonna tell me how to be God. Not literally, not figuratively. The white man's not gonna tell me how to be God. 85 ain't gonna tell me how to be God. Muslims ain't gonna tell me how to be God. Christians ain't gonna tell me how to be God. You get it? But see, this is when, see, look, one thing that makes practical knowledge easy is when you live in the South. See, when this is just something that you talk about with your friends, right? Then it's already compartmentalized because you're not always with your friends. So you talking about like, look, right now, right? You got people that play in the NBA, right? And we know they're an NBA player. We see them at the game, but do we know all the things? What time they got to get up and do they running so they could be in shape? You know, when they got to, you know, the injuries and all the various things that goes into it. They not just playing that 45 minutes. That's a whole job where yeah, they got to go see all those things. See, everybody, well, you know, men, we do that. You know what I'm saying? You know, we see the what's your name, right? And you know how we do. You know, when you be little and you on the court and you like, yeah, I'm Jordan, and you know your man he's Magic, and this other dude over there, and boom, 3, 2, 1, and you know what I mean. You hit the shot and you know you imitate that part of it. You see, in order to do that, right, it's things that got to go into that. And see, these are the things that look. A lot of times we ask ourselves, right? We say, well, you know, this in the nation and that in the nation. You know, why this ain't accomplished and why that ain't accomplished? Because you got to know how to distill this supreme knowledge, right, into practical application. I know you know, I think it's me. I must be yelling or something because my battery, my battery seems to be going down fast tonight. Hold on, let me see if I can get charged. Yeah, we on 10%. Hold on one second. Okay, it appears that we ran into some good fortune. It appears that we ran into some good fortune and found a charger. Now, let's see if let's see if I can find a way to get this plugged in. It's not one thing, it's the other. Practical application. You know what I'm saying? Tell you something about this knowledge. One thing you gotta remember with this knowledge, talking about you. You see, everybody say, yo, why this, why that? Cause you. See, that's what happened when you're quoting the lessons, man. When you're just quoting, you're not even listening to what you say. Look, one time, this man, he was a music teacher. And he came to the school. I'm fairly sure the song that he taught us was La Bamba, right? And we learned the whole song. Portisere, portisere, pa la bamba. Look, I don't even know what the hell that means. We learned to sing a whole song. I don't have no idea what, and that was like in the 4th grade or something like that. So just saying that's how I know that somebody could be quoting something and saying it every day and dealing with it and all excited and everything and don't know nothing what they talking about. See, I had no idea how to practically apply any of the words that I learned in that song. If somebody came up and asked me to manifest one of those concepts to save my life, I couldn't do it. And so, see, this would have happened when the person is, look, they quote and they quote and they quote. All that above is caused by the Son of Man. All that above is caused by the Son of Man. So guess what? Every time you ask a question, the answer is you. But see, when you don't have practical knowledge, when you have supreme knowledge, of course it's everybody else because you're supreme. But just look, as time goes on, right, everybody gonna get their turn. Everybody gonna get their turn. Look, it may not be in the same places where I have my turn. See, like, look, a lot of new people, I tell people all the time to come on here and look. See, here, right? Mostly everything was already, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could never be certain things here. I'm firstborn now. That's something different. Of course, we know I'm firstborn. That's totally separate. But everything was already manifested here, G. But see, where you at, where you somewhere right now, you like, man, ain't no people here. No. See, that's the potential that you got. But see, what happens is not everybody has the power, right, to distill this knowledge into something that can be drawn up by other people. You know what I'm saying? Even in terms of the language that you're using, can you communicate these ideas to other people, right, who don't have the lessons? See, look, here's a hint, right? And then I gotta look. Let me try to look for this plug because the power is down. The power is down to well, you know what? Might just have to relocate. Might have to relocate a bit. Power's down in less than 10%. You know what I'm saying? But getting back to, matter of fact, I'm gonna skip the subject again because I got sidetracked. But there's the book with uh, it's about fraud, right? It's written by two dudes. They did whatever their research is or whatever. So that's what I was thinking, is that maybe uh, I'll do like some segments or whatever, or some short vids or whatever, where uh, you know we read a certain amount of the pages or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Until we get through with the whole book. We'll see if we could get something like that going. But I haven't gotten into it yet. But yeah, I'm interested. I've been watching a couple things about him recently. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was interesting. Encyclopedia Brown sent me the first time I saw this book. So let's see if I see anything new. You know what I'm saying? Because uh let me see. I know about there's the was like Oregon. There's the Oregon. There's Ford. There's just various people. You know what I'm saying? And it is true that you look at, like, he's having contact with the government. So when you have contact with the government, you got to fill out forms. You know what I'm saying? And in one of the forms, it says that his mother's name is Baby She. Like, it's spelled, it's not spelled the same way I just said it, the way we learn to speak English or whatever. But yeah, it's so yeah, I'm interested in it. But the thing for me is this, right? Let's say the worst case scenario, right? Right? I read this and discover that Fard is a fraud, right? The thing is, I've been using mathematics, supreme mathematics, for decades. And so there would be no way for anything, right, to prove that supreme mathematics is fraudulent to me. You see what I'm saying? Meaning, like, there's frauds, right? That really existed back in the days. You know what I'm saying? They don't. It's, well, I know it's not as common, but at one time that was a scam. People were selling the Brooklyn Bridge. Now, somebody tries to sell you the Brooklyn Bridge, that's a scam. But the Brooklyn Bridge is real. I know it because I've been across. Look, I've walked across it. I've driven a car across it. I've rode a bike across it. Listen, I know that the Brooklyn Bridge is real. I ain't went across it by myself. I've been across it with other people. But there's all types of scams that involve the Brooklyn Bridge. So that's why I see other people, they religious, and you don't want people to say, man, yeah, of course you don't want to find out nothing that negative like that, but see, it wouldn't affect me. It might affect y'all. It wouldn't affect me. See what I'm saying? Because I've already dealt with the practical level of this knowledge. See, I've already seen the proof in the pudding. Like, see, you first get the lessons and you hearing about all these people from back then. Whether you talking about people who had this knowledge before you, or whether you talk about those people in the lessons, things that happen, in 11,000, things that happen in 8,400, right? Okay, so now What do that mean right now in this day and time? Like, how do we manifest that? Like, see, look, in the because everybody else they like to deal with all this other stuff, right? You like to deal with the various, what you call them, uh, uh, teachings and philosophies, right? Yeah. What you said? Level of truth and quality unknown. So I can clean the toilet. Hold on. Where was I? Oh yes, say a deaf mouth and I bone the rest. Where was we? Where was we? Somebody hit me in the comments here. So yeah, I noticed a lot of people coming in. I can't see the comments right now. I don't know what I did with the screen. Hold on, let me make sure this thing is even charging. Because sometimes you plug it. All right. Woo! We was down to 3%. We was down to 3%. See how that's why my name's Christ. But oh yeah, I was just getting back to the point where I was saying that that's the thing about the practical application of this, right? Is that that's what see there's a battle, right? Because a lot of us we grow up in the system, right? But then even if you don't grow up in the system, you immersed in the system to where just the way people speak on things is religiously. We in a situation right now where it's the default cultural education, right, is that there's a magical white man that live in the sky. And that, law and order doesn't matter because, you know, uh, he can show and prove who he is by breaking this law and order. You see, after having this knowledge for enough time, I realized that the true and living God, right, goes according to law and order. See, that's the real hard part, is to go according to law and order. See, anybody can freestyle. But one thing that has to be kept in mind is that freestyling, right, and improvisation is not the same thing. See, improvisation is when you know the principles so well that you're able to mix and match it. So you're able to do things that other people can't do, right? Because they can only go according to the system. Because the system is still an outside thing to them. They haven't internalized the system, internalized it enough to where now you can move freely, not freestyle, right? Which is just we have no connection, no foundation with law and order. So see, right now, you don't have to know how to play the piano. And you can go and freestyle. You see, if you're going to do improvisation, you better be a master on the piano. You go into some jazz improv, you better be a master. Now, anybody riddle me, how does that happen, right? How does that happen without putting these things into practice? See, it's one thing to believe it. It's one thing to get into conversations, you know what I'm saying, with certain people or whatever, and this is what y'all speaking on. And it's another thing. See, look, there's many things, right? That when we look at it in principle, it's right and exact. The question is, how much is the people that's advocating that, how much is they practicing it? They see, look, we can say we teach the babies, right? Look, see, I can't see the comments. I wish I could look, but I'm gonna ask this question. Y'all can see it. Y'all can see the comments. So y'all can weigh and judge. Y'all can weigh and judge. Look, when the last time you talked to somebody that's under 25? That's a real question. And look, your own kids don't count. Let me throw that in there. I apologize. I apologize, but that's the way this question is working, right? When's the last time you spoke to somebody under 25, right? That's not your child. And see, what I'm saying is that that's the difference. That a lot of questions you will be asking, right? You're like, yo, what's going on with the nation with this? What's going on with the nation with that? See, if you was practicing this, right? And look, 25, that's lofty. You know, that's how you talk to somebody under 17. See, that's the real deal. You could say you teaching the babies, but in practice, how does that look? Because see, once you put it into practice, now shit gotta be exact. So you could just be right when you're talking. So you could be talking, yo, you know what I'm saying? I wanna give out these book bags. Nah, but see, what exactly is the plan? Like if people want to take their time out, whether they come in to assist with giving out the bags, or whether they come in to pick up bags, whatever they, what exactly, what are we doing? What's going on here? Right? If Supreme at the Max is a blueprint. See, matter of fact, that's what when I was telling y'all to remind me what I was saying. See, people deal with a lot of these philosophies, right? And one of the big things that's in these philosophies is the law of correspondence, right? As above, so below. Now, there's a lot of ways to draw that up, right? But the way I draw it up, see, is as above, so below. See, as it is, peace, as it is, right? Above, right? In the mind, all these supreme ideas, all these supreme concepts, all the supreme wisdom that he's manifesting. See, like, look, if right now, if I didn't have this picture on, right? If I didn't have the video of me on, and I was just talking, and just the things that I'm talking about and the stuff that I'm saying, right? A lot of people probably be like, "Oh, all right, yeah, he's, you know, he's with the 5% stuff." All right. What about the other way? What about if they just see me moving, but I don't say nothing? Will they still look and be like, "Yeah, I don't know. He might be with that 5% stuff because, yeah, what he doing, yeah, that's, you see what I'm saying? As above, so below, right? When you practicing what it actually is that you manifest. And see, look, the reason why it comes up because look, when things happen around me, that's how I look at it. Like the various things, I'm talking about on a national level right now, but see at the same time, it's like, yeah, we can look at everybody else, but this is what I'm saying though, right? What is, we in this environment right here, you know, how did we practice the law, right? And what was the order that is it established? Did we like that order? See, we didn't like that order, right? And we dealing with the principle of all that above is caused by the Son of Man. Then a lot of times we got to realize that, see, we establish an order, right? And things happening in order, right? Down the line, this is the outcome. It could be a good outcome or a bad outcome, right? You didn't get to it yet because that's not in the order. But then what happens when you go out of order? Then you never come to that fruition and see this is what we get. This is what we get, right? When we get the Eric Cook, when we get the Eric Cook stuff. Where it's like, yeah, all jumbled up in there. The black man is God, lessons, all, but see, everything is out of order. Right. And so, what's supposed to be made born from that? What's supposed to come from that? Oh, okay. What's going on? What's going on, eh? What's going on, baby? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's the big brother right there. Big A came through. Yo, hold on. Matter of fact. Whoa. Yeah, right there. I forgot it was a little business. I needed to old man Justice. We still gotta do his celebration this year. See, because y'all cats, man, y'all don't love Justice. I don't know why. Yeah, listen, man. Listen. That's what I don't understand. Y'all don't love Justice. But yeah, we're gonna. I guess over the next 2 weeks, we're gonna get justice celebration in. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, damn, I can't see the comments. I don't know. Let me see how much battery power I got. Maybe I can adjust something. Yeah, I don't know. This the slow charger. I'm only up to 8%. You know what I'm saying? But look, we get into some questions now. I guess, man. I ran it like an hour and a half, man. Why nobody ain't stop me? That's why I don't like y'all, man. y'all could have stopped me like an hour ago. This is how y'all do, man. This is why. You see what I told you? You see what I told you, Omar Cook? You gotta watch these 5%. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I'm gonna try to see if I can see these to see the if anybody has any questions there. Barely. Let me see if I can't even see this though. Let me see. I blow up the screen. Whoa. Okay, I can see a little bit now. Oh, we got a Robbie in the building. See, I can't. Now I can't scroll. Oh wait. Let me see if I go back in the other joint. Oh, Robbie, I was getting ready to hit you today too, and I was on my way down here. See if you was coming up. VC round. I ain't see that. I can't see the comments, y'all. I'm about to get off here because I'm frustrated. Who's that? VC round. Hey, did you look? I don't know who was on the what's your name. Who was on the what's your name last week? Who was on the the City Sciences channel last week, right? When we did the episode the 5% on Kendrick G. The brother contacted me. He contacted me and he said he wanted to come on and address the congregation. You know what I mean? I guess, let us know. I just wanted to see what the deal was. You know what I'm saying? But he's welcome. I don't know if he's in the what's the name right now. I can't see the comments. You know what I'm saying? If you are, I'm not reneging on, like I said, you come on and all that, but I can't see what's the deal out there. And I can't tomorrow, yeah, I'm gonna be up here in the early part of tomorrow. I got a couple things I gotta take care of. Couple of things, damn. So I mean, I don't know, man. I guess, man, we're gonna go ahead and wind this one down because of the simple fact that you know, that's the level that we at. You heard evidence in the hospital with a heart attack. And Robbie, Robbie, I need to call you. I'm about to get off of here. Maybe I don't know if you heard this, right? But what's going on with Eminem? Do you know anything about what's going on with it? Because somebody just came and told me something that we need to check on our brother. You know what I'm saying? But look, we did our thing. We did our thing today. You know what I'm saying? I did have that important message, that I wanted to deliver to Eric Cook. You know what I'm saying? And I also had that important message, man, about, being universal and having supreme knowledge, right? And knowing, all the facts, the history, the knowledge, the science, and all of that, but also being able to practically apply that knowledge. Because there's dumb, deaf, and blind, right? That can happen to anybody, right? If you get exposed to the wrong thing before you get exposed to the right thing. But then there's stupid. And but there's some shit that's just stupid. And see, when you have supreme knowledge, and every time you deal with the practical application, it comes up, you just look stupid. See, with every fucking given thing, son, and even for your own self, not even to say other people judging you, but don't you get the most upset about the things that you knew what was the right way and you still fucked it up, whether you did it on purpose or by accident? And you could have left something sitting right there, and then you turned and knocked it down. Like, God damn it, because you knew that was there. See what happens when you knew better and you didn't do better. See, that's the many stripes. That's the many stripes. But yeah, to the rest of us, you just look stupid. And so yeah, that's why I had that one saved up. Yeah, I know it's been a minute. We've been coming on just touch, but yeah, I had some things that happened in the last week that caused me to see that. You know what I'm saying? And see, it caused me to see it so much because see, I'm in the mix of this shit. I'm not the cause of it. I'm trying to come with a solution, but at the same time, right? Because I'm in the mix of it, I'm not going to look no less stupid than everybody else involved, especially if I don't say nothing. And we all know that's not me. So, everybody that made this far, do the each one, teach one, hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be on location over here tomorrow. Well, not, it's actually, we're on location up top. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, we're going to be back at headquarters. We're going to be back at headquarters tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who wants to, donate to what we're doing, you can send the supplies. You know what I'm saying? They got to be here by the 30th. If you can get them sent to the school, we got 120 book bags. You know what I'm saying? So whatever supplies, and look, we're not trying to just put one pencil, of course. You know what I'm saying? So whatever it is, it all adds together. You know what I'm saying? So in the meantime, between time, I'm gonna sign off and say peace. I see y'all tomorrow, and love, peace, and happiness.